There's a glitch that makes the Elite Defender and Bomb Blitz OP, and we'll be using it to get the black border on Sunset Gulch, the last advanced map I have left. Now, this bug lets you activate passive abilities with the push of a button, so we can make the Elite Defender attack 4 times faster and the Bomb Blitz blow up the screen without having to lose a life, making them shoot up the ranks in usability. Already, people have used this to complete a Muddy Puddles LCC, beating Bloody Puddles with only 5 monkeys, a 2TC with the Bomb Blitz and Crossbow Master, and much more. Unfortunately, the abilities still have cooldowns, so we have to wait 1 minute in between Bomb Blitz explosions, but the Elite Defender only has a 10-second cooldown, and because it attacks 4 times faster for 7 seconds, it has a 70% uptime, making it 2.8 times better than normal. Now, the 205 Elite Defender is already a cost-efficient way to handle the mid-game, break open ZOMGs, and pop DDTs, but we're going to get way more out of it. Knowing we had this, I wanted to try out the more glaive strategy as they shred dense packs of balloons but need help breaking open tanky layers. So we started off with 3 dart monkeys for the first couple rounds and put a sniper in the top right once we could afford it. I enjoy getting a value sniper early on because you can set him to strong and he makes the teams much easier, but it's even nicer this run because we'll be upgrading him instead of leaving it as is. From here, we got Gwen just above the tracks, so she has 2 straightaways for her flames to go down and she's in a central spot for heated up. The rest of the early game was pretty easy. We upgraded the sniper to a 102, which made any round of space strong balloons a breeze, and started working on a wizard. This guy will need to pop all the camos for us, so we made him a 022 for the 20s and a dragon's breath on round 34. This should pop everything until the Moab, so we got ready for round 40 by giving him a berserker brew and making our sniper a 203 semi-auto. Somehow we had almost exactly enough money for these upgrades, and with them we were able to break open the Moab on the bridge and pop the ceramics in our walls of fire. This threw us into the 40s where tons of money is made, but there was one type of balloon we couldn't pop yet: camo purples. So we got a radar scanner to give our sniper camo detection before round 45 and picked up jungle drums right after. And now for my favorite part of the game, getting 3 more glaives in range of Gwen. Each one has tons of pierce and seeking projectiles, letting them smoke any rush of ceramics, while Gwen's heated up buff gives them lead popping power and at level 17 +1 damage. This is why we made them with faster ranks, as at plus 67% attack speed pairs very well with Gwen. But with these down, it's time to save up for the Elite Defender. This setup made the 50s a breeze. Our sniper took out all the blimp layers way before they got to our other monkeys, and the boomers shredded the ceramics inside. I mean, round 60's BFB broke open by the dart monkey, and the Moabs inside didn't get past the wall of fire. But round 61 is where we got the Elite Defender, and we can start using the bug. All we have to do is go into the hotkeys menu and set activate selected tower ability 1. Then click on our Elite Defender and push the new hotkey. This makes our sniper pulse green rings and attack 4 times faster when active. And I made sure to use it on the ceramic rushes of round 63, turning every ceramic into a bunch of yellows, which our other monkeys demolished. Now it's time to save up for a glaive lord, and I don't think that'll be a problem. In the 70s, I just kept the Elite Defender selected, and anytime a blimp made it to the bridge, we activated his ability, which would turn even BFBs to ceramics before they made it to our boomers. He even kept up with the regrow ceramics in 76, making all of them yellows and not letting them regrow out of control. But this let us get the glaive lord around 79, locking up the exit for now. The only thing is that none of our boomers have lead popping power outside of Gwen and the alchemist's help, so DDTs might be a problem. An easy solution would be to give them a MIB, but I had other plans with the village. So for now, we made it a 3-2-0 primary training and gave our glaive lord an alchemist of his own. This brings us to round 80, where we faced the first ZOMG of the run, and we made sure to boost our sniper right off the bat. To my surprise, he broke it open in just a couple seconds, and the BFBs didn't last much longer. So only Moabs and below made it to the bridge, which got smoked on the other side. I wasn't sure if this would continue with super ceramics and fortified blimps heading our way, but even round 82 was a piece of cake. Nothing made it past the wall of fire, and even the braced BFBs didn't make it far on the bridge. But this is all I'd really planned for. I didn't know what to do with my money from here, so we got a relentless glue up front and placed 3 more boomers in range of Gwen so they could get heated up too. Finally, in the late 80s, some blimps started getting to our glaive lord, but because the sniper had thinned them out so much, the lord was more than enough for the Moabs at this point in the game. But that brings us to round 90, where we have to pop DDTs. Now, I did not know how we'd do without a MIB, so I waited until they came on screen and pressed my hotkey. Each DDT RBE popped in about a second, well before they became a problem. Holy cow, is this guy strong. The only issue I had with our setup was that some of the boomers were so close to the exit that they couldn't see much of the track. To help with this, we made the village a primary mentoring to give them more range. Round 94 is the first true test of RBE, so I kept our sniper boosted and not a single ZOMG made it across the bridge. Plenty of BFBs and Moabs made it to the wall of fire, but barely anything made it to the orbiting ranks, giving me a ton of confidence as our boomers excel against dense packs of Bloons like this. But now we have round 95 and it's 30 DDTs. They came rushing on screen, but once we pressed the hotkey, we pushed them back to the entrance. This happened a couple times. During the ability's off time, the DDTs would push into the map, but once our elite defender got its attack speed back, we'd pop them all back to the start, not even needing a firestorm to let our boomers help out. The fact that a single sniper can basically solo the DDTs in round 95 on an advanced map is crazy and totally explains the records being set. Somehow, round 96 was even easier than 94, despite having way more Bloons. Their spread out spawning let the sniper break basically everything down to Moabs, which we could easily handle, and halfway through the round, we could afford the primary expertise, adding a global ballista to our defenses. Definitely not needed, especially since our boomers already have so much Pierce, but I thought it'd be a funny addition. Round 97 did worry me a bit, as fortified ZOMGs are no joke, and they did make it pretty far. But once Bloons started popping, the stuns of the relentless glue kept everything a safe distance from the exit. But now we're on to round 98. The most RBE in the game, they are packed tightly together, and because they're ZOMGs, our sniper worked on breaking them down before popping the fortified BFBs, leaving much more for our boomers than before. And they were advancing further than normal. The blimps got past the wall of fire that they normally pop at and moved into the orbiting ranks, just a few feet from leaking. But by the time they made it here, there weren't many strong blimps left, and they didn't have the health to push through the ranks and boomers all attacking them. So we beat the round and saved Firestorm for the fortified DDTs just in case we need it. I held off boosting our sniper until the DDTs started spawning, and he popped the first 5 or 6 basically on his own. But they slowly made it to our pack of monkeys, where everything could help out because Gwen's heated up went off. We beat the round no problem. I wanted to see if the sniper could solo it, but that's tough to control. And just like that, we're on to round 100. I spammed his ability to speed through this outer layer, and we were going through his visual changes quickly, getting all 3 bandages on the whale while he was still on the bridge, and he broke open at the wall of fire. Instantly, we used all 3 abilities to make sure we would pop everything, and we handled the insides no problem, getting my final advanced black border. And our elite sniper was the MVP of the run, getting over 700,000 pops. Not bad for such a cheap tier 5 monkey.